right, if there's gonna be winners of a deadline, there's gonna be some losers, and the losers, I was like, I don't really know. I really like it. Really wasn't the same. I didn't really feel the same of like who lost here. To be honest, I mean, don't get me wrong. I was like coming out with a list or people. I'm like, I was like, I got that. So, well, let's get into it. One person, I'm like, Grant Williams. I was like, signed a big contract with the Mavs in the off season. Basically went from the team of the Celtics that was basically championship team. I was like, got into that whole thing with Jimmy Butler. You know, came into the Mavs and basically he was on fire when he first came out. I was like, ooh, that's what he been holding back. Then he not only it's not like he cooled down, which would be expected. He just sort of just like out, where it just kind of like, okay, cool. Now you just sort of being a body, and it was like, oh, okay, that's sort of back to where it was with the Celtics, where it's like, sometimes he's there, and then sometimes, he got 6 fouls, and that's sort of how it felt. You would have thought a bit better because I was like at his height and stuff like that he can hold his own against bigger dudes while also being able to switch. But I was like that, and apparently he was like over here not liking his role with playing with Luka and stuff, which I feel like you could do that when you're Kristaps Porzingis, but not when it's you. But hey, but now you went to the Hornets, where it's like, cool, you went from winning to we win. And I was like, I could throw Curry in this, but I'm like, nah, somebody might want him. I don't know. I mean, somebody gonna take Grant, but not the way they'll take Curry. Curry had like a different set of value, and so he had a different set of skills, as Liam Neeson would say, than Grant Williams to be poached from other people. So he sort of got himself in this spot, and that's where he's just going to deal with. Pat Beverly, he was also my winner because he sort of made a lateral move, but I want to say that he also is a loser because of that. Because if you were going to basically stay with a team that also had this, that's sort of similar, like, yes, you don't have Embiid, so it looks a lot more bleak, but I'm like, you're playing on a team that you basically, like, you was on, that you got to grow with and stuff like that. And I know he ain't, and he's probably used to being traded, like, and whatnot. But at the same time, I'm like, you went to the Bucks, and it's like, yeah, they even though they're pretty much healthy. I was like, Chris Middleton hurt himself the other day. It's pretty much still in the same boat of it's not looking good right now. And maybe Bev is something that could change over there more than maybe the Sixers. But at the same time, it's kind of like, I was just like, you might as well just stay where you decided to go. Not also to mention that Daryl Morey said he wasn't going to trade him, man. Can't trust that dude at all. I was like, I'm gonna throw it out here. Daniel House, he went to the Pistons. Enough said. Yeah. Um, I want to say the Bucks just because I thought they should have did something a little bit more impactful than Patrick Beverly or got something else, and they didn't really make any roster moves. And I was like, I feel like I guess they're betting that whatever this is with Doc Rivers is going to take time and they get better and stuff. But I think that they sort of just need to have another option scoring and another guy and like another guy scoring that I was like that could be a consistent scorer because they really don't have anybody like Dame, Middleton, Antetokounmpo. They need somebody else that could get buckets. And I was like, I thought that would have been great for them to get like a Jordan Clarkson or something like that. That would have been good for them. But I mean, it's like Pat Beverly is not bad. I was thinking of somebody like Caruso, but Pat Bev's not bad if you would have got something else. And I thought that would have been better for them because I don't see with what they got unless you're really betting on Antetokounmpo and Dame to be that star level player that I don't know. It's like, yeah, they might win you a game or two, but it's like, I don't know if that could carry you through the whole playoff. That's sort of the problem there. The Bulls, they just stuck pat, and I'm just like, so you're gonna lose Caruso and DeRozan for nothing. I mean, like, like, yes, they could do a sign and trade type of thing that people do, but I'm like, you could just lose for nothing. And the fact that you didn't even try to get anything for them, and I was like, I'll like, they're both expiring contracts, so you wouldn't maximize what you could get, but you could get something that would make it worthwhile. I at least believe you probably could have got a first round pick, considering all the people that did get first round picks. But you didn't, and you just stand back and you're just gonna lose them for nada. And I'm like, that's wild, that's crazy. Um, the Thunder, I think, dude, because I don't think that Gordon Hayward was the veteran guy you should have got. I thought, and maybe there's somebody to buy out that comes available that they can use. I was like, I know I said something about Robin Lopez, and I'm like, somebody like the Thunder will add him on, and I was like, he'll play a good amount of minutes against the big dudes, I guess. But the Thunder, I thought they had a chance to add somebody to me. I was like, they could have added Clint Capella and wouldn't have had to give up anything really to like get them out of their like youth team. Um, I was like, they could have maybe got like Wendell Carter Jr., not had to give up anything. So I was thinking, I'm like, man, they had opportunities to enhance their team without really giving up anything that could have made them see what this team could do this year in the playoffs before actually going like fully in next year. Cause I was like, I feel now they're gonna, it's like everybody gonna be like, it's good they didn't do a move, they're young and stuff. But I'm like, yeah, but it's it's a little wide open in the West where I'm like, they got a good squad in a way where I'm like, you get the right veteran that's not going to Hayward, and I'm like, you can make some noise. You won't win a championship, but you can make some noise where like you put a little bit of scare, and you can put some scare in Denver, even if you're not gonna beat Denver. But I'm like, they can beat Denver. You know what I'm saying? Um, and that sort of goes to my point of some of the East teams. Like I know the Pacers made a move. The Cavs, I was like, they got injuries, so they didn't need to make a move. The Knicks made a move. Celtics doesn't need one even. They made a small move. The Bucks didn't do anything. The Sixers didn't really do anything. The Heat, I was like, they sort of did their move about a week ago. But I was like, I thought they could have did a little more. Maybe they're waiting for a buyout. Um, yeah, I was like, just because I'm like, okay, Celtics, yes. I was like, you didn't know the Knicks were going to necessarily make these moves until now, which now has everybody being like, I feel like we'll have everybody looking like that. And I'm like, the second spot was up for grabs. The Bucks over here hurting as far as like team chemistry or whatever you want to say. The Sixers are literally hurting. There's nothing else going on there. So that's why I'm like, man, if you could have made maybe another move here, like got two pieces like the Knicks, being looked at differently. That's all I'm saying. And LeBron, because not that I think the Lakers needed to make a move, because I didn't think they needed to make a move. I don't think there was anybody that I felt like could have made a move that I thought was good enough or better than what they sort of really had. But LeBron in of itself, that there was no moves made, and he wanted there to be some moves made to some type of changes. And to be honest, I'm like, your team is actually pretty good. It's just probably figuring out what works, because I think come playoffs, I think your team can play with anybody. I just think that y'all just sort of have a hard time in the regular season. But I'm like, you can play really big with AD and Jackson Hayes and Rui and LeBron all on the court at the same time if you want to. And I was like, you could throw in any of one of the other bigger dudes on there as well too, because LeBron could play point guard. You could go really small with Russell, Reeves, um, like Prince, LeBron, like AD. Like you got so many more options and so many dudes with potential and stuff that I think that I'm like, you didn't need to make a move. But I know LeBron would have wanted a move. I just don't know what that move would have been from a lot of these other teams that would have been substantial for them. So that's why I give him the loser here. But hey, also too, I was like I didn't put him in the winners, but I was gonna say Monte Morris. I meant to put in the winners just because he went from the Pistons to the Timberwolves, and like I said, anybody that leaves the Pistons, you good with me. Anyway, those were the losers during this NBA trade deadline. And I was like, you got any other people? Let me know. I was like, do you agree, disagree? Tell me what you think. Anyway, until next time, I'm out.